Ghost of Time is a top-down action puzzle game where you use a time loop mechanic and your own dead clones to solve puzzles and retrieve medication in a dystopian future. It feels like Rick and Morty had a pixel baby that time traveled. A bit like Rick and Morty. This game is set in a dystopian future where the government has subject time to government regulations. You are subservient to an elderly man who has amnesia. He sends you on a quest to get his vital medication. He can't remember why or what for, but he knows he needs it. You use the time clone machine to manipulate time and solve puzzles to save the man's life. This game was successfully funded by Kickstarter. Essentially, that's it for the story. You get a small intro conversation and the odd chat here or there, but there's not much else to the story that I can say. Ultimately, it's fine. It's better than a convoluted mess, but it's a relatively barren. Gameplay. At its basic level, Ghost of Time is a time-bending puzzle game. The first 1 to 7 levels are relatively easy once you get your head around the mechanics. The game does a good job of adding new mechanics and tools every now and again, which keeps it fresh and stops the game feeling mundane. The puzzles themselves are pitched at the right level for fans of puzzle games. Sometimes you may feel a little bit stumped on how to start solving a puzzle, and you will make mistakes that you need to rectify. The puzzles are very well thought out and satisfying to solve. The time travel element or cloning element is simple, that when you die or you choose to respawn, you create a clone at a new teleportation point. That's where the challenge is though, as you only have a limited amount of clones to use, and sometimes the deploy points are in other locations across the map. This is partially what makes the gameplay so enjoyable. There's a sense of danger in every loop you play through, especially later on in the game. The controls are simple and reactive. The movement reminds me a little bit of Among Us. There are not many buttons to learn, although pressing respawn accidentally can be frustrating. The difficulty curve is steady and forgiving. It's only the last 10 levels or so that need extra thought after you've learned all the game mechanics. Some levels feature Easter eggs that can be harder to solve and require most thought. When you earn them, you get a little trinket in a cabinet in the overworld as reward. Visuals and design. The pixel art is really well done, and the decoration around the game's home world is pretty impressive, especially the posters and the Easter eggs. The design feels quite Orwellian. You can imagine it being the backdrop to something like 1984. The menus are simple, possibly too simple, but they're easy to navigate and they get the job done. The sprite designs are really good. The characters and the enemies look great. Performance. I played it on the Switch 2, which is flawless. The loading times are short, with smooth frame rate throughout. There's not much more to add on this front. It's not a particular beefy game or big game for it to play, so it's not a surprise. Value. The game is currently priced at $8.99 and regional equivalents. It's around 2 to 3 hours in length, maybe slightly more if you want all the Easter eggs. There is replayability here, especially if you want to speedrun the levels. There's a basic timer in the top right of every level, although there's no timestamp on the completed levels, so you'd have to use other software to help you with that. At full price, if you're a puzzle game fan, I'd say it's just about enough value to make it worthwhile. Score breakdown. I give story 5 out of 10, gameplay 7 out of 10, visuals and design 8 out of 10, performance 8 out of 10, with an overall score of 7 out of 10. At this time there is no mention of a physical edition. This game releases Friday the 15th of the 8th on the PlayStation, Xbox and Nintendo. Final verdict. If you like puzzle games, this is worth a dabble. If you're stretched for time or on a journey where you can play something in handheld mode, this is well worth your attention. I'd like to thank the developer for the review code. It was really fun playing the game. Please like and subscribe.